Look, this created quite a bit of buzz over the weekend, and we haven't had a chance to get to it yet. But I Gator, think it's totally worth seeing more of. And that is what has been called the Elam Ending, but it's changing the way basketball ends. It's using a target score. And the target score is determined, is predetermined, but the Elam Ending first came into play in what was called the basketball tournament, which was a surprisingly entertaining, I think it's happened twice now, summer basketball tournament that's open to pretty much anyone. Mostly who is playing in it is former college basketball players. Some of them get together with mostly former teammates. There was an Ohio State team. There was a Syracuse team. There was a Wichita State team. When the Wichita State team is their nickname in Wichita State is the Shockers. Mm-hmm. And this former group of Wichita State players were called the Aftershockers, which I thought was hilarious. But it's mostly former college players. And they adopted this Elam Ending. It was a normal basketball game until they got to the final TV timeout. And when they hit the final TV timeout, which for people who don't know, inside of 4 minutes, at the first whistle inside of 4 minutes is a commercial break. And it's every 4 minutes. 16, 12, 8, and 4. There's a commercial break, and the first whistle after you pass each one of those, that's how they do the commercials in basketball. And then they have other ones for other timeouts where they sneak in extra commercial breaks. But they know that they have 16, 12, 8, and 4. Well, in the basketball tournament, when they hit the final TV timeout, 8 points were added. Not added, but if the winning team was up 80-70, I'm going to use easy numbers. The target score became the winning team score plus 8. It was the first team to 88 wins the game. So in the final 3, the clock was basically turned off, but in the last 4 minutes-ish.
It became pickup rules, basically.
Yeah, it became the first one to get to whatever so if it's 80-70, it's a big advantage for the team with 80.
Sure, they have to get 8, and the other team has to get 18.
If it's 80-80, it's the first one to 88. Mm-hmm. Here's what it eliminated. Fouling and stalling at the end of games. Didn't do you any good to foul. If you're trailing and you foul, you're putting them on the line and you give them a chance to shoot free throws. If you're the winning team and you're stalling, well, you still have a shot clock you have to be holding to, and you still have to score points. And I found it to be fun. Gimmicky, but fun. Did I take it seriously? Not really. Then in the NBA All-Star Game, they instituted it, except they didn't do 8 points in the final TV timeout. They added 24 points for Kobe's number in honor of Kobe. And the whole fourth quarter, 24 points was added to the winning team score. Now, 24 for an All-Star game might not seem like enough, whatever. The fourth quarter was insanely intense relative to the rest of every NBA All-Star game ever. It instantly became a real basketball game. And absolutely, they should do this moving forward for the NBA All-Star Game. People loved it. Because you know what you had? All-Stars playing defense. The shooting percentages dropped by like 30%. The fouls, there was something like 13 fouls called in the first 3 quarters. Don't sue me if these numbers are wrong. And then there were like 16 fouls called in the fourth quarter because people started playing. And I want to see more of this style of basketball. And I'll tell you the first people I would suggest adopt it. The NIT.
The tournament nobody cares about.
Exactly. And I think the NBA, you know how there's a talk of the NBA putting in that mid-season tournament, that really weird idea? If they go to that, I hope they do the Elam Ending. I hope they do the fourth quarter plus 24. I think getting rid of foul shooting, free throw shooting, and stalling at the end of games, and a parade of timeouts, when time is eliminated, the game maintains a certain level of excitement right up until the end. Now, I'm going to give you 2 problems. One is that officials get a little bit scared to blow the whistle because of 2. And this is what happened in the All-Star game, and it happened in the basketball tournament. the game ended on a free throw.
And that's, which they shouldn't be worried about it ending on a free throw. I mean, I get that it's a little anticlimactic and you want to have the game-winning shot. But if it happens in a free throw line, it happens in a free throw line. You shouldn't be afraid of that. And you shouldn't be afraid to blow the whistle because a foul is a foul is a foul. I enjoyed it immensely in the All-Star game. And I think that's where it should stay.
Well,
I don't want to, because it is gimmicky. It does change the way, it's a complete game changer for basketball.
Totally.
I'm not for that for regular season stuff or certainly not for the playoffs. But if they want to do it in the All-Star game, I'm all for it because it did make it very competitive.
Now, I am stopping short of saying I want basketball to adopt this across all levels.
But you're not that far away.
I'm not, and that's why I want to see more of it, because I do wonder if I am attracted to that it is a gimmick and a curiosity that'll go away. But if you're the NIT, why not? Why not? Your tournament it's still being held, and you just kind of wonder why, but it's still being held. Maybe something like this is a great testing or proving ground. The G League, great testing or proving ground. NBA preseason. I want to see more where the curiosity wears off. Do I still like it? Because, sure, it made the All-Star game entertaining, but does real basketball need this? No, it doesn't need it. It doesn't. But the end of games can drag on and on and on. Some people say, and you know this, criticism. All you got to do is watch the last 5 minutes of a basketball game.
It's true. In most cases, it feels like it's true.
And yet, the last 5 minutes can take 35 minutes. If they did this, would it make the game better? Is it warrant? Do we need to see more of this? I think we do. You don't?
Not in the NBA, no. No, I think I think it is a gimmick. I loved it in the All-Star game, but the All-Star game needs it. They needed to find some way to be competitive. Games in the NBA are competitive. The All-Star game was not. That's why they needed to go to it. If they do it in the NIT, hey, I'm for it because I don't watch the NIT. I don't care about the NIT. So if they want to go ahead and do that, would it interest me a little more? Ever so slightly. I'm not going to tune in because they got the Elam Ending. I'll tune into the NBA All-Star game next year, probably for the fourth quarter, to see how that goes. But maybe the in the NBA they'll tweak the All-Star game even more. I like what they've done to make each quarter there's a $100,000 donation to charity, so the teams want there's competition there, and yet they had 49 dunks in the NBA All-Star game through the first three quarters of the game. In the fourth quarter, I think there were two or three dunks total in the fourth quarter. That's how things changed in the fourth quarter because of that ending. So I like it for the All-Star game when you need to make it competitive, but the regular season's plenty competitive, and we know the playoffs are very competitive.
248-539-9797. Ticket text 97136, plus your feedback at Doug and Gator 971. Does anybody want to see more of this? Because I do. It's Karsch and Anderson, 97.1.
Well, the days are getting lighter. You look at